Okay, I want to offer a peace deal between the Israeli nation and the Palestinians on Gaza Strip. I propose the formation of a Mexican-Palestinian state where we will buy 10 miles of land in one long strip from the Pacific Ocean to the Gulf of Mexico in the north of Mexico and form a Mexican-Palestinian state. I have written some brilliant law. I wrote this in 2019, and I am the true U.S. president. And this will solve the border crisis, and there's no need for there to be rockets being shot at each other in Israel right now. This will solve Israel's land problem, and it will also give free housing and training to all the Palestinians. Yeah, we'll pay for the move. We'll move them all to the Mexican-Palestinian state that will have a national health care plan set up, free housing that has to pass U.S. housing code inspections, free training for occupations, and we're gonna, yeah, read it. It's really good. I've written some brilliant law. I'm having trouble enforcing it because Lori McBride has been running Israel since 2017, and she doesn't seem to care about all the chaos she's been causing. So yeah, all of Mexico, 10 miles south of the U.S. border, I propose should become a Mexican-Palestinian state, and we'll build a wall along the southern end of it. And we're going to be using space-age technology. I want you to read the law that I wrote, okay? I wrote it in 2019. It is brilliant. You guys don't need to be shooting rockets at each other right now. This needs to stop, okay? Unless you all like killing each other, there's no need for this. Let the Israelis have the land. They don't have a lot of land. And we'll give you your own country. Yes, your own country. With a climate very similar to where you're living right now. The northern Mexican area. We'll buy that land using donations from the nation of Israel, along with the United States, and donations taken from the International Charity Bank, must purchase all the land 10 miles south of the U.S.-Mexico border for the price of $1 billion. Mexico can use this money any way they want, as long as how they use it honors conspiracy law. Yep. They must allow this land purchase as punishment for allowing Lori's bands of criminal migrants to the U.S. border in violation of conspiracy law. The land purchased will be one long, narrow strip of land 10 miles south of the U.S.-Mexico border, extending from the Pacific Ocean to the Gulf of Mexico. It will constitute the newly formed Mexican-Palestinian state. All Palestinians currently living in Israel will be moved to this land. Before they're moved here, we will construct homes for them and build a wall that extends on the southern border of this 10-mile wide strip from the Pacific Ocean to the Gulf of Mexico. All Palestinians from Israel will be given free homes here. That has to be inspected to pass U.S. construction laws with safe and healthy electricity, plumbing, etc., and be large enough for the needs of their families. If they're not trained for a job, they will be immediately put into a free training program. And while in training, will receive free housing, a free home computer, free internet, electricity, food, and utilities. Once the training is finished, the free utilities, internet, and food will end, and then they have to go to work and earn their food, internet, and utilities. Every home will have a free grocery cart that they can load onto the public transportation system. We're going to build a public transportation system and bring to the grocery store to buy groceries. Anyways, we're going to construct buses, railways, and trains based on the public transportation systems of Japan. And with our modern technology, we can do this easily. All grocery stores got to be set up with home delivery options, or they can go online and order their groceries and have them home delivered. But home delivered, and go ahead and read my law, okay? This is the solution. You don't need to fight. Give the land to Israel, and we'll give you your own country. You don't have to live there. You know, it's a no-win situation what you got going on right now. Neither party's going to be satisfied. Israel doesn't have a lot of land. Let them keep their land. And then we will give you a new home with a climate very similar to where you currently live. So go ahead and read the deal that I offer you so you guys will stop fighting each other. This will also solve the border crisis because we're going to make it very difficult to go through. There's going to be a wall built on the southern end of this. It'll solve the border crisis. So we won't have this flood of illegals going into Texas and California and New Mexico and Arizona. Yeah. I wrote this in 2019. I have written brilliant law. The reason why law hasn't been enforced is because Lori McBride is basically trying to be the U.S. president, and she is no good as U.S. president. And she's trying to usurp my leadership. This is the solution. You guys need to stop fighting. Read the law. I'll have a link to it underneath this video.